Hi, I am sitting with two of the most amazing women in the world. This is a former president, and this one will be president if we're not careful. However, as we wrap up this conversation, if you haven't watched the last two videos, please do. I want this to be the one that you pass on to your daughter, to your sister, and to every other woman you know. And this is what we know this far. Your Excellency, I need to start with a woman who is going to rule news for the next 6 months, if not more, and her name is Michelle Obama. Mm-hmm. I remember seeing an article, a little letter written by somebody in the New York Post about the fact that how dare she be making money and why isn't she giving it to charity? There's something about women, money, that the world still can't tolerate, and worse still, a black woman and money. What is it? What do you know for sure this many years later?
When I was about to leave office, a communique went out from government to say that I'm resigning over a financial scandal where I have used charity money to go shopping. And there's nothing further from the truth than this. First of all, there was no charity money. Secondly, I didn't use anybody's money. Thirdly, I did go shopping, but on my money. So money is very much an issue. Just to clarify, what happened was that I was given a credit card to do advocacy because somebody has to pay. And I didn't want the taxpayers in Mauritius to pay because I was doing advocacy for science, which I felt I should be doing at the level of the presidency because increasingly policymakers want to hear that voice. So I had made a mistake, being human. I had used that card for my own personal thing, but I had quickly refunded 1 year ago. Okay. 1 year later, the whole newspapers in Mauritius get splashed out with all my expenses. People know exactly where I went shopping, what I ate, where I took my kids to, because these are all items which are highlighted in the credit card. Yes. So, but I had refunded everything. I owe nothing to no one. But it makes good sense when you actually stick money, as you have rightly said, to a woman, especially when she's going shopping, right? Yes. But having said this, I have been an entrepreneur. I wanted to run my business. I translated my research from academia. Even when I was in academia, I had to, hunt for money to run my projects. The whole thing is about financials. So if I didn't make money for my business, I would not be hiring people. Yes. So I don't see why there is this hang-up when women have to handle money.
Or women have to make money
handle it, make money, and also spend it. So these are amazing issues. I mean, these become, my goodness, these become, fun. I know this is a big sin. It is. Making money is a sin. Spending money is a sin. Making profit is a sin. And I keep saying to people, good grief, if you want to have a successful entrepreneur, making money is not a sin.
But clearly, it's a sticky point for people. Absolutely. It's a prickly point for people. Yes. And incidentally, the person who wrote the piece on Michelle Obama was a woman. I don't think there's a man who has had a problem with that. I mean, we all looked at the book and we looked at the fact that she was selling out, stadiums were like, she's going to be on the bestseller list for a while. And I believe she will outsell Barack Obama's Dreams of My Father. I believe that. And incidentally, I bought 6 copies of the book. A few people sent me it on PDF. And I need to say this, more power to you, but I will not rob another woman.
Thank you.
I will not rob another woman. Yes. I refuse to. I refuse to. I will buy the book. I mean, but hey, go right ahead and download the PDF, but I won't do that. But what have you understood about women, power, because we know it's not about leadership anymore, and money?
Some of the best career advice I ever got, and it was almost by accident, but it was from another woman. And here, a little side note, these conversations we need to have with each other as women about how we treat other women.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a side note for our sister from the New York Post, because some education needs to happen there. But some of the best career advice I ever got is go for the P&L jobs.
Yes.
Go for, if real power, real influence lies in being able to be held accountable for bringing in the money and making sure so it is spent properly. Yes. That is where real power is. Yes. And it is not an accident that the new slut shaming, if you will, for women is financial impropriety. You want to bring a woman in power down? Nowadays, the hot thing is accuse her of financial impropriety. And if you can, accuse her of shopping. Like, I mean, that has become the new way to
Yes.
tear women down. But that also has implications for how the strategies that we as women then need to adopt around how we get into power and stay in power. Because that's now we now know. That's what's being used to trip us up. So how do we tighten our game?
And if you're under 30 and you're wondering, what do you mean it's a new slut shaming? You must understand, for women of a certain generation, they used to say we were loud or we were arrogant. Aggressive. And they realized we don't buy that stuff anymore. They tried to throw the whole thing of who we had slept with and how often and how many, and they realized we don't care about that anymore. The new thing is always go for the money. And sadly, and you're right, where the money is and how it's spent, how it's made and how it's spent, is literally what runs the world, without a doubt. And I would like to believe there are people who the moment, because didn't Michelle Obama have to increase her stadium dates because she had sold out some? Completely. And obviously, I think the tickets are not free as well.
No, it's a pricey ticket.
But you see, why would anybody get touchy about the fact that she can make money? From her story about her life. And this is a woman who endured 8 years of some of the most
being
epic
called a gorilla
trolling ever was.
Exactly.
Why are we upset that she's making money and big money? Where does that come from?
This is the thing. This is the new mindset we have to keep on understanding, because often, as you have rightly said, it comes from women, but it is not perceived that women should be allowed to climb up the ladder, because she's always perceived to be a threat. And in some societies where you're growing up, where it's a very conservative society, when you flag in religion, when you flag in culture, when you flag in tradition, women are not supposed to be there. So there is a lot of hypocrisy when you hear the narrative, we need to empower women. But we cannot empower her unless we unleash her. Let her live her life. Let her do things. Of course, there are things which are caveated, of course, for all reasons that we know. But at the end of the day, we need to let her live, give her that freedom to be able to be herself, to be able to live her full potential. And this is where we need to stop the hypocrisy of saying, oh yes, we want to empower women, when it is not the case.
But only so much.
Only so much.
Yes.
Don't become too much of a threat, because at the end of the day, we still have to massage the male ego.
And also, don't make money, and don't be in the decision to spend the money.
No, but the money is power.
Money is power.
Exactly. I mean, this is something that we have to come to terms with. This is where the whole issue lies. Money is power. And if the woman is too much out there making that money, she'll become a threat to the family, to the husband. And sometimes the ego balancing has to be done as well. Sometimes men, they are quite comfortable with that. But this is not the case for many other men.
But which brings me, she said, make money, be all you can be. And you told me a story about a campaign Akili Dada had about our grandmothers. Please.
As you know, I founded Akili Dada and have had the pleasure of transitioning and following closely and just enjoying and appreciating what the new leadership is doing. And one of my favorite campaigns that they ran was, I am my grandmother's wildest dreams. And it was inviting young women, girls and young women, to think about the lives their grandmothers had. And to think about the way you're living today. And it really made me think about my grandmothers, my mother's father, my father's father. And my middle name is Nyagodhie, and loosely translated, one who travels. And I am literally,
yes, living it.
Absolutely living my name, and in important ways, seeing parts of the world and the things that happen in front of my eyeballs are the wildest dreams of my grandmothers. Both of them. And it is such an honor. But it's also an invitation to think of yourself and the grandmother you will become.
Exactly.
Whether biologically or by affection.
Yes.
And think about the work ahead to create a future and a path so that your future granddaughters, your future grandsons, will live your wildest dream.
I'm sure you lived your grandmother's wildest dream.
Absolutely.
She's president, how?
Exactly. And even myself, when I see the name associated to my name for the first time, it dawned on me. It was daunting. And you wake up in the morning, you think, it can't be true, it must be a dream, to be called president. Because the responsibility that goes with it. People don't seem to see that. When I keep saying, there's limelight, but when the light is gone, there's only lime left. So these are things that you have to grapple with. Mm-hmm. But the responsibility that goes with it is absolutely amazing. But having said this, I totally agree with you. And this is where I would call again for solidarity. We need to have this feminine solidarity, help each other daily. And this is what I'm going to do with my foundation. In my 4th life, somebody said to me last night I had a 5th life. But anyway, I hope I'll be like the cat, I'll have more than 5. And this is what we need to do. Infuse that sense of solidarity in the young girls who are growing up, because this is where we can make a difference. And I will call for this again, solidarity, solidarity, solidarity. Take that girl by the hand.
Yes.
And make her live our dreams.
Our dreams.
One of the things that I have as a personal mantra is I will not allow to be said around or near me that women are their own worst enemy.
Yes.
And it's a phrase that people think is cute and light to say. No, you cannot say that phrase around me and expect to go out unscathed. Like,
you will be hurt.
You actually have to answer exactly what do you mean by that. Because it matters the stories we tell ourselves, they become the air that we breathe, they become our expectations, and it matters the the narrative we are allowed to be created, because it influences the expectations of the next generation. I want to create a world around me and hopefully around others where girls and young women can expect my support and my solidarity. I think you've done a really good job with that. And
but it's because I purposed it. It's clear for me. And then people who know me know. I don't mess around, and I've purposed it. That I know without a doubt, along the men who came along and told me, get on with it, there were women who were like, just go. If you fall, come call. In fact, one of them is Susan Githuku. Susan used to tell me, I'm putting up your name for a board. You've got to meet her. You'll love her. And she said, I know you're going to tell me you don't know. It's okay. First say yes. Then we'll fix it. She used to tell me, say yes. Then come and call me. We'll fix it. We'll figure it out. So for me, for every young woman watching us, don't say you want to be like me. No, I want you, as Wanjiro said, to become your grandmother's wildest dream. I am, without doubt, my grandmother's wildest dream, without a doubt. Sometimes she looks at my car and she says, yours? Really? Yes. And it's the car and what I do. And I think that's a challenge for all of us. But also, if we've learned something, the power is money. Making it, spending it.
Absolutely.
Get into P&L in every area, because that's where we need to be. They invited us to the table, but then we found out we were the menu. We keep coming to the table, but we don't stay. And it's because, fundamentally, they haven't allowed us to look at the big book. Once we have access to that, we're good. Thank you once again to Her Excellency, Karib Fakim, and Dr. Wanjiro Rottenberg. Share this video madly. I'm going to boost it for $100, don't you worry.